Welcome back. We're here at Mascoma Savings Bank in New London, and joining me now is Public Relations and Social Media Coordinator, Tom Hoyt. Thank you for joining us, and thanks for hosting.
Lynn, always a pleasure. The Kearsarge Chronicle, just one of those great local institutions to find out what's happening right here. So we're happy to be involved.
Well, a lot of people will like to see your face because you're the voice of many of them on the Mascoma Savings Bank commercials. So
I always find it very fortunate in my career and such to work at a bank with 350 people. But if there's somebody that needs a radio commercial voiced or a TV spot done, like, we'll just get Tom to do that.
That's right.
And so I try to make it sound as if it's like, oh, okay, if you make me. But no, it's great. And coming from my previous life in the radio and television world, it's a great mix. So it's very enjoyable.
Good. Well, let's talk about Mascoma. You've got a very hot social media presence now with you with the wheel.
Yeah, a couple of years ago now, the bank made the decision of if we're going to do social media, we really need to do it. And that's what I think you see with all of the social media avenues out there. So if you will, I was handed the wheels. We do have a very strong presence on Facebook, on Twitter, on Instagram, and a lot of that then links things back to our website, which is pretty impressive as well. And what we try to do is with our Facebook page, highlight the entities in the various communities. Mascoma is in 27 different communities from Keene to Lancaster. So if something is going on in Keene that the bank is supportive of, Facebook is a great way for us to, if you will, promote that effort.
Yes.
And also maybe mention that the bank is very much supporting that effort as well. So it's not, so often you see a company's Facebook page is essentially, it's a catalog of their products. And I think we get away from that. And more it's highlighting the activities and entities in the communities that we represent with a little bit of fiscal love in there as well.
Absolutely, yeah. And one of your new features is that you've been featuring the new president. Talk a little bit about that.
Exactly. Clay Adams, who has been on our board of directors for a number of years, came to us. He was the past CEO of the Simon Pierce Glass Corporation in Quechee, Vermont. And Clay became our president of Mascoma Savings Bank on January 1st. So we thought, here's a Dartmouth grad, a Tuck student, a younger gentleman, if you will. Clay's in his mid-40s. He talks about that. That the social media world will be a good way to spread the news about him. So, and I take credit for this, we came up with the video program Working with Clay.
Very witty.
Yeah, that's it. Pretty witty stuff here. So essentially what it turns into is Clay and I, a couple of times a month, sit down in a setting much like this, and I get to be the one who asks Clay questions, and then we put that information out there. So, so much of that stuff you think of like, oh, and again, Clay's resume is one of those where you get to about page 7 and you wonder if he's ever done anything in his life that wasn't good. He's seriously, Dartmouth and Tuck School, and he was a football player, and he hiked the Appalachian Trail, and he did what you would imagine a bank president to have quite a background. But it's just an opportunity for him to be a little bit more personal and tell some of those stories about what he and what the bank have moving forward.
Great. Well, good. And you've got some expansion plans as well.
Exactly. What we're going to do is, for years, we've been in Woodstock, Vermont. Our location in Woodstock, Vermont, for years, we've said it's not the greatest and we need to get a little bit more visible. That will happen over the course of the next year, directly kind of kitty corner across the street from where we are in Woodstock. Before you take the big turn, if you will, from Quechee and get into town, was it a former location of a national bank who left that property. We are going to move into that property. We'll essentially tear it down and rebuild it, but will not only give us more visibility right along Route 4 in Woodstock, but be much more convenient for the flow of traffic that is in if you will, everyone is going into town. We'll have the drive up, and we'll also have conference facilities there and office facilities for both our insurance and wealth management agencies to get a bigger presence in the Woodstock market.
Wonderful.
Yeah, exciting times. And again, with Mascoma being in Keene and in Lancaster and in Woodstock and in New London and in Hanover and Lebanon, it's become a lot bigger than it was back in the day. Just the little, bank of 4 branches, and 20 or so people. It's a big multi-billion-dollar operation.
Well, and you've kept up very nicely with, all these online banking and now
Yes.
the new. So you're keeping right up and doing great things.
Yeah, and I think it's one of those, I don't know, it certainly wasn't this way 20 years ago. I don't think it will be this way 20 years from now. But right now we're in a situation where we need to be everything to everybody. We have
Yes.
customers who we've literally never seen.
Right.
They do everything online, and yet we still have all the branch locations for people to come in and have that human interaction. I don't know if that will be that way when you and I are no longer doing this, but it is that way now, so we have to accommodate all those people.
Good times at Mascoma Savings Bank. Well, again, thanks for hosting us. We're going to be here for the next 3 weeks and get to meet lots of the nice Mascoma staff.
And we'll talk about it on Facebook.
All right.
Okay,
Take care.
thanks.
Thanks.